been working really hard to bring in the Indigenous residents of the basin and make sure that we're hearing their voice and adding their voice to the perspectives on the red. You heard Dr. Ballard from Winnipeg talk to us yesterday, really fascinating and interesting Indigenous knowledge and actually helping us understand how to integrate Indigenous knowledge. So I'm pleased to welcome we're April Walker, one of our great partners, but also just a great person. I always enjoy when I get to introduce April. She runs her own consulting business, but also is a state water commissioner for North Dakota and one of the newest members on the International Red River Watershed Board. She's going to introduce what our next block of this presentation is.
Good morning. It's my great honor to be here today. You know, as Ted alluded to, being involved with this organization, one of the great things about the Red River Basin Commission and the parent organizations that go along with the Red River Basin is inclusion. I've always been extremely impressed how sitting at the table you can have people who may disagree on issues, may have different positions, you know, both sides of the Canadian border, both sides of the Minnesota-North Dakota border with differing opinions and differing perspectives and differing backgrounds that are all able to come to the table and work together. And so we're very excited that the next effort that's being kicked off that builds on the efforts that have been ongoing on the Canadian side. You heard Steve Strang talk yesterday about the 2018 conference in Winnipeg, where a water ceremony was conducted, and there was Indigenous folks from the Canadian side that were involved in, you know, coming to the table and entering into the conversations of the Red River Basin Commission. The International Red River Watershed Board is seeking to continue that movement. We have the Outreach and Engagement Committee has put together a grant and received funding through the International Water Initiatives to undertake an effort of Indigenous engagement in the coming year. And so through that effort, we have secured the Southern Chiefs Organization in Canada to act as the administrative body that's going to be reaching out to the different Indigenous nations throughout the US and Canada that reside within our basin. To have conversations. And we've also secured Celeste McKay, who is a well-known facilitator who has done a lot of work on Indigenous rights in both Canada and internationally. We're very excited for that effort, and we want to start off that effort in a good way. And to do that, we have invited Miss Mary Morin. She is a member of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa, which is my home reservation. Mary has worked throughout her career to increase the cultural awareness and cultural knowledge of our young people on the reservation. She's a spiritual leader, a cultural leader within our tribe, and I'm very happy to have her here today to help us start this new effort in a good way. So I'd like to invite Mary and Yasmin to come up to the stage. While they're coming up, I do also want to just give a quick acknowledgement that here we are in the great city of Grand Forks, which is in the ancestral territory of the Turtle Mountain Band of Chippewa as well. The Turtle Mountain Band is a subset of the Pembina Band of Ojibwe, and it was the 1863 treaty at Old Crossing that turned this land over from the natives to the government so that it can be opened up for settlement. So here we are, and we're happy to be here on our ancestral land to talk with you today. Mary.
Bonjour. My name is White Butterfly Woman, and I'm from the Bear Clan. So my spirit has to do with that butterfly, and I have a very hard time just to stand here. I don't know how any of you can just sit there and not move around, because I have to move. I'm like that butterfly. That's my spirit. That water, our most precious natural gift that we were given, has those spirits. It has many spirits inside. All those spirits in that water are our helpers. And we're going to be doing a special ceremony, a blessing for the Red River. And so we have water from the Red River that April brought. And we'll bless that, pray with it, and then we're going to take it back there. So that whole river line and those veins that go in and feed all the other creeks and lakes and reservoirs will be blessed too. This is how we send these blessings, is we talk to them. We believe that every spirit can hear us. This morning, April brought that water from the Red River, and we were talking at the table, and I opened that bottle of water so that water could hear us. Those beautiful words that you were saying. That water has that energy. Some of the things from the past is Devil's Lake. We didn't call that Devil's Lake. To us, that was Manitou, Sagaigan, Spirit Lake, because we knew that water had that spirit and had many spirits. But some people were doing things on that water that they shouldn't have been. And so that spirit rose up and showed itself. And when they seen that spirit more than once, they called it a devil. We didn't call it a devil. We knew that spirit was good. But those ones that were doing those things and seen that spirit and renamed that lake Devil's Lake, that's how that name changed. To us, we call that Manitou Sagaigan, Spirit Lake, because of all those beautiful spirits in that water. Long ago, that lake was huge, way bigger than it is now. They took and they separated that lake and they made it into 5 different lakes. Our teaching is someday that water will come back together. And all in between there, those people, those ones that live there, will be flooded out. And that is one of our teachings and one of our stories. We want to start today with a prayer. And so my partner, Wabashki Kukukuhuanene, and my niece, Midegi Jigung, are going to help. And our prayer is, the grandfather sees us, and the grandfather is the son, and he's bringing his blessings to us. So when we sing that song, if you want, hold your hands open. Another one of our teachings is we learn and we get gifts through the palms of our hands. And so that will go into your hands. All of a sudden, you'll be hearing that song while you're driving down the road or while you're sleeping. So we're going to start with that prayer first. April, will you come sing with us, please? I'm going to pass tobacco to April. So April will get these teachings. So April will be able to continue with these teachings to take care of this water because she is very much a part of that water. I'm asking you to accept this in a good way. My heart to your heart. And you carry this water and take care of our water for us and for the 7 generations to come. Wait my turn. Excuse me. You sing it, I'm gonna sit. That song, that prayer is a blessing to all of us because the men are keepers of the fire. And this is where our balance comes from. The men and the fire, the women and the water. We're the keepers of the water. Nowadays, we have to work together. We have to have that balance. We have to even have the men help us take care of the water. You know that the men are keepers of the fire. When grandfather's sun comes up in the morning, that's when that man, your partner, reaches for you. He feels that energy from the sun. And us women were saying, oh, leave us alone. Let us sleep 5 more minutes. Us women, our balance comes at the nighttime when Grandmother Moon is coming up and rising. That's when I want to be held. That's when I want to be taken care of. That's that balance between men and women. Their energy is grandfather's sun, that fire. Our energy, Grandmother Moon, that water. You are beautiful. Wow. Nice smile. Gorgeous. I'm sorry. So we need each other. This teaching tells us how much we need each other. We wear our skirts because it gives us that center. We all know where we came from, our mother. We all know where we were connected. A lot of the people call that your belly button. In my family, we call that your connector because that's where you were connected to your mother. When you touch that area on your body, you can feel that connection back to your mom, back to all your relatives. When we wear our skirts, it makes that circle around us on the bottom. We have this opening that goes down through our center. That's where we all come from. That's where life comes from. That's water comes first. You're protected inside of that water as your mama carries you. That water protects you. That water feeds you and nourishes you and brings you into this world. So when that water breaks, that water helps you be born, brings you to life. And then, first thing you do, take a breath of that air. But only after you're disconnected from your mom. That's when you take that air. And you're going to need that air. And that air has water in it. Everything Creator made has water in it. The rocks have water. Every plant has water. When Creator did his work, he created all of the sky world first. Everything in the day sky, everything in the night sky. Everything he created in the sky world has water. Actually, there's a level up there the natives know about that takes care of the water for us down here. Then he created he picked the earth as where he was going to put life. And on there, he created all the plants. Every plant in the world, all the beautiful ones, even poison ivy and plants that hurt us. But people don't know, most people don't know that poison ivy is a beautiful medicine that we use. And we need that medicine. But people look at it and say, stay away from that. And here's some natives going, oh, I need this. I'll take this in the sweat lodge. We can use this. It helps us. All those plants have water in them. Then he created, the third day, he created all the animals. The two-legged, the four-legged, the winged, those that crawl and slither. Every insect, every animal. All those animals need water. Every one of them have water in them. Our body is made up mostly of water. If you don't drink your water, your bones are going to creak, your muscles are going to get sore, your eyes are going to be dry, your throat is going to be dry. Even your pooper needs water. Can't go to the bathroom right if you don't drink enough water. Every part of your body needs that water because you're made up of water. We need to protect our water. We need to love our water. My daughter works at the college here, and she's going for her doctorate in biology. And all our life, this is how my children grew up. And so I would take and I'd fill up a pitcher of water at the sink, and from the sink to the fridge, I'd say a blessing with that water. Creator, bless this water, keep it safe and healthy for me and my children, my family. And I'd put it in the fridge. I blessed and I prayed with that water. So everybody that would come, we never ran that tap water to waste it. We just get a drink from the fridge, pitcher of water. And it was blessed, and my family knew that. So it's also their job when they empty the water to fill it up again and replace that. So then they have to put that prayer in the water. So my daughter started coming to college here, and she's working with mosquitoes. And if they take the larvae, the eggs, and they put them in the tap water, all the larvae dies. But if they take and fill up a barrel of water and let that water sit overnight, chemicals dissolve out of that water, and then she can hatch her mosquitoes. But that is the only way that can be done. And so we got lessons from her. Some people came to my house and they call us auntie and uncle, and they said, how come Auntie Mary's water tastes different than ours? It comes from the same tap, it comes from the same source. And they called me up and asked, and I said, well, I don't know, maybe it's because we pray with that water. But that isn't the only reason. The other reason is if it sits for one day, these chemicals dissolve out. So it's a good teaching not to waste that water. When you go to Sundance, you fast and you give up your food and your water totally for 4 days. And during this Sundance, it's called a dance because you dance. You blow an eagle whistle as long as that drum is beating, and it's pretty much all day long. And you're standing there, and you're dancing and you're blowing that whistle, and all day long you're praying for 4 days. Sometimes they even do it one night. So when you go to Sundance, you go without that water. Boy, do you thirst. When you come out of Sundance, you do not waste that water. You know exactly how precious it is for your body. When you're fasting, you go through these levels. And there's one level that I mentioned earlier is where the water is. And when you're fasting on that 3rd day, you realize, I've almost made it. I'm almost done now. Tomorrow I can have that water. Tomorrow I'll have that blessing. I'll get that life. But as you're going through these realms, you also are leaving your spirit here on the earth. And you're changing because you're seeing what you're asking for in that Sundance. Because you do, when you go to Sundance, you're asking for something. And people have gone to the Sundance only to pray for the water. They've done this for 4 days and 4 nights, no food, no water, just to pray 4 days for the water. What a blessing. What an honor. And what a gift that we're given to do this. We're going to continue and we're going to bless that water. We set it up down here on the floor. And usually we would do this outside on the ground. where we have that stronger connection, where we have that stronger pull. Us natives, we say, you have your baby when the moon is full, because we're connected to everything. We're connected through Grandmother Moon, through Mother Earth, and through our center. And so we have this connection. We have that pull on us. So when we're pregnant, we watch the moon. And when the moon is the fullest, she has that very strong pull. And Grandmother Moon has these jobs to do, just like the sun has them jobs to do. And you guys all know that sun has that job because you guys feel that in the morning. Us women know the moon has a job. We feel that in the evening. So this is this balance, man and woman. This is this blessing, life. So Grandmother Moon controls those tides in the water. She also controls that pull on us women. So when we have our menses, we are not to go sit in the pool, sit in the swimming pool, sit in the lake, because it pulls on us. And then you get weak because you lose your flow faster, because that water is pulling on you. When that water pulls on you, you lose that stream of blood faster. So we can tell that connection. We can feel that in our bodies. So we set up here on the ground, on closer to the ground, because this is where we do ceremonies. And we're going to continue now to bless that water for the Red River. And I want to say thank you from my heart for you guys doing this and for adding this in to the Red River Basin, because we need everybody now to pray for our water, because this is where the 7 generations, we don't think of ourselves. We think of our great, 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 great grandchildren. So I'm going to go down there now, and my family is going to help make witch. I prepared a dish of food from your meal this morning. I brought some medicine that I wanted to add in. Some of this medicine is abuse medicine, because how we have abused the water, not only in the lakes, the rivers, the ponds, but also inside us. We abuse that. April kindly brought us this water from the Red River. It was a blessing for that water. We give that water an offering. I brought natural tobacco that was prepared. her to hold 2 shakers. But this shaker was a gift from the water. The metal is from the water, a gift to our people. And so I asked her to hold that. Which that song is a prayer for the water, in the midst of water. For the water where life comes from. The spirits in the water, all of them are helpers. This water will be taken back to the Red River. This offering will be put in this water and that send that blessing throughout the river and throughout the ponds, lakes, veins that will be Mother Earth. I'm asking it to wait back to that I ask you. And you continue to do this here. This is one of the things that we do at home. We call up everybody and we tell them, come, having a ceremony for blessing the water. And the people bring the water wherever they're at. And sometimes we have so much water there that women can't be the only one who lives in water. Then have to lift that water and bring it outside. Our water is so precious to us, where that life comes from, and we know that. We know in the morning you're supposed to have a glass of water, even a swallow of water to start your day. That's what's supposed to start your day. When someone is crying, and if you take a water and you give them a drink, it helps them to stop crying. Because the minute you offer them that drink of water, they get that life back in them. So our people that are sick, our people that are hurting, and hurting really bad, you pray with that water, even just a short prayer, and you give them that. That helps them, because you're giving them good health, you're giving them love, you're giving them life. Mino bimadaziwen, good life. And that's what we ask for each other, for all the plants, the animals, and the sky world. Because those three things were made before us. Remember, he made the sky world, he made all the plants and animals. He made us two-legged last and set us on the world, down on the world. These three can live without us. We cannot live without them. We cannot live without water. And that water comes from here. And as soon as everyone starts walking in that same direction, we'll get it right. So wherever you live by your water source, bless that water. This is not only our water, it's your water too. You have to love it as much as we love it. You have to respect it as much as we respect it. Because you know how good you feel after you shower. You know how good you feel after you wash your hands. I also need to, that medicine that I put in that water, and part of that prayer was I put COVID medicine in there, natural medicines, and I asked that that can be stopped quickly because it's so dangerous and it's hurting us. But we know that that Creator has to do what He has to do, and if this is the way He has to do it, it's not up to us. But we all know that we have to take care of each other. Thank you for wearing those masks. Thank you for washing your hands, for sitting so far apart. So there's medicine in there for that COVID. So that's going to be part of that Red River also. The reason we use that blue color is because we want that to go way down to the bottom of the river. That's the color on the bottom, is that dark, dark blue. Everything that we think about in that water is so precious. We talked about Missy Bijou, that spirit in the water at Manitou Sagayagan, Devil's Lake. But we didn't talk about those little ones. Omagakig. Those are our helpers too. And we know about 6 to 10 years back how infected they were. They were being deformed in so many different ways. And it was because of the pollutions in the water. But maybe when we all work together, that this can be stopped and corrected now. I want to say miigwech to all of you. And gizu in the min. I love yous. Miigwech.